America's sick, and it's been getting sicker for as long as I've been an adult. You've got two competing ideas, both of which might be right sometimes, but more often than not, they're wrong most of the time, because their conclusions are that 50% of the country are idiots or morons or hate the country they're from. I've been all over this country. I've worked in many different industries. I've met people from all walks of life, and I don't believe what the left tells me. I don't believe what the right tells me, because everything that I have heard from both sides leads to conclusions of hopelessness and darkness about who my fellow Americans are. And I've met them face to face. I've worked with ranchers and loggers and construction workers. I've worked in the service industry and been surrounded by people whose whole life is academia, and they were all wonderful people. They were all my fellow Americans. And it is painful for me to see, when they're in rooms feeling like they're safe, how much hatred and intolerance they express for one another. How much the people who have comfortable lives of books and art and music, how much contempt they hold the very people who grow their food and harvest the lumber that their furniture is built from, that haul the shoes to them in the semi-trucks. And on the other side, the people who do that hard work, the level of contempt that they display for the very people that engineer their bigger, more horsepower-laden engines, that come up with the science that makes the ballistics behind their firearms work, that create the apps that they all use. We are a society of specialists, and so we all have our areas of specialty, and we need one another to make it work. And that extends into our communities and our cultures and our families. And the fact that we have siloed ourselves, broken ourselves up into a dozen different little tribes, and then view everyone outside of that tribe as being hostile towards us, or worthy of our contempt, or not worth listening to, has led us to this place where we're all trying to have 100 different conversations, but none of us are talking about the same thing. That has allowed the wealthy and the powerful, or even just well-meaning, intelligent people who've never left their little echo chamber, to dominate the conversations that we have. And every dominant conversation I see taking place is missing the bigger point. It's missing little details that cause their narrative to completely fall apart. The left doesn't hate America and doesn't want to destroy it. They want it to be better than it is. The right doesn't hate democracy and doesn't hate freedom. They're just sick of being attacked for who they are, who they were raised to be. So if you're drinking the red Kool-Aid or the blue Kool-Aid, there's not a lot I'm going to say that you probably want to hear, but I can rest assured you need to hear it. And for all of the growing numbers of people who are sick of the red versus blue, who are sick of holding their neighbors and their family members and their friends in contempt and fearing civil war or whatever else, my experiences have led me to believe that I see a reality that does not fit into either of those two opposing narratives, but threads those two narratives together into something that we could actually find a way out with. Because the two dominant narratives don't show us a way out. The only thing I see coming from this narrative is more hate, more division, more vitriol, leading to places I would rather not see our country end up at. But there are a number of voices, there are a number of ideas that are not getting the airplay and the time that they need, that do show us a way to not just find our way out of the dark period that we're experiencing in this country, but find our way back to one another, back to community, back to the America that I remember as a kid. And some people have accused me of looking through rose-tinted glasses at the America that we had, but I know for a fact, people who had different political views could drink beers together, could break bread together, could spend time together, and have conversations. And that doesn't happen anymore. Now everybody shuts each other down. Everybody stops the conversation. Everybody goes, screw that guy. He's a moron. He's just a gimme. That's not how adults have conversations. And we didn't used to be this way. We've been made this way. And it's time to start deprogramming it.